Have you ever wondered what happens when one of the world's most popular messaging apps comes under attack by an entire state? Telegram, used by over 90 million Russians every month, is now at the center of a geopolitical struggle with Moscow, as Russian authorities accuse its founder, Pavel Durov, of facilitating terrorism and refuse to cooperate. But beyond the headlines, this is a story about control, surveillance, and the limits of digital freedom in a world where technology increasingly shapes power. Today, we are going to explore the full story behind Russia's crackdown on Telegram, the stakes for its users, and the broader implications for global tech, privacy, and geopolitics. The stakes are high. If Russia succeeds in forcing its citizens off Telegram, it would mark a dramatic expansion of state surveillance and control, potentially eroding secure communication channels for millions. Conversely, if Telegram maintains its user base despite Moscow's attempts to block it, the case demonstrates how digital platforms can resist authoritarian pressure, creating friction between governments and global technology companies. Understanding why this matters requires a look at Russia's recent history with digital regulation, Durov's own trajectory, and the growing tension between state interests and tech autonomy. Pavel Durov, Russia-born and now residing in Dubai, is no stranger to political controversy. He left Russia in 2014 after refusing to comply with demands to shut down opposition communities on VKontakte, the social media platform he founded, and hand over user data to the Kremlin. Since leaving, he has occasionally signaled a willingness to reconcile with Russian authorities, having visited the country over 50 times between 2015 and 2021, yet his stance on privacy has remained largely consistent. Telegram has been praised for its encryption and user protections, which also puts it at odds with authoritarian regimes seeking control over digital communications. In 2018, Russia tried to block Telegram outright, but failed, lacking the technical means to enforce a complete ban. After negotiations, some restrictions were lifted in 2020, under the condition that Telegram cooperate in countering terrorism and extremism. However, according to Russia's media watchdog Roskomnadzor, Durov's team ignored over 150,000 official requests to remove content deemed illegal. State media outlets claim that Telegram has been linked to more than 153,000 criminal activities since 2022, including 33,000 acts involving sabotage, terrorism, or extremism. The Kremlin has cited high-profile incidents allegedly facilitated via Telegram, such as the Crocus City Hall attack in March 2024, which killed 145 people, and the murders of Daria Dugina and General Igor Kirillov. While these allegations are heavily contested and politically charged, they are being used to justify a multi-pronged push against the app, including traffic slowdowns that reached 55% in February 2026, and a broader campaign to encourage users to switch to Max, a government-backed messenger that can track and monitor communications. Telegram's resilience and popularity make the Kremlin's task challenging. Despite restrictions, Russian citizens have increasingly turned to VPNs to bypass blocks, with usage rising to 36% of the population by March 2025, up from 25% the previous year. The government's insistence on promoting Max highlights not only surveillance ambitions, but also a strategic battle over digital infrastructure and citizen behavior. Analysts warn that such forced migration to a state-controlled app could create both domestic backlash and wider skepticism about the security of government services. Durov's troubles are not confined to Russia. In August 2024, French authorities detained him at Le Bourget airport near Paris, charging him with multiple crimes including money laundering, drug trafficking, and distributing illegal material. A French court released him on $5 million bail with travel restrictions, And although the travel ban was lifted in November 2025, the criminal investigation remains active. Telegram subsequently increased cooperation with European law enforcement, introducing new content moderation tools and blocking over 34 million channels in 2025. This shows how regulatory pressure in one jurisdiction can influence platform behavior globally. The Russian strategy is part of a broader pattern that began with the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Moscow gradually blocked Facebook and Instagram in March 2022, restricted Signal by August 2024, partially restricted Telegram and WhatsApp by August 2025, and ultimately blocked WhatsApp completely by February 2026. Yet none of these measures caused as significant a reaction as the current campaign against Telegram, largely because it is ingrained in daily Russian life and widely used for both personal and professional communication. Two scenarios emerge. In one, Telegram succumbs to restrictions and Russian citizens are forced to adopt Max. The consequences would extend beyond privacy, giving Moscow a powerful tool to monitor political activity, suppress dissent, and manage information flows. In another scenario, Telegram survives via VPNs and alternative access methods, effectively frustrating Russian control efforts while reinforcing the notion that global technology platforms can resist authoritarian pressure. The geopolitical context is also critical. Telegram's clash with Russia occurs amid increasing global tension over the control of digital infrastructure, data privacy, and technological independence. Countries with indigenous AI and messaging systems such as India, the US, and China watch these developments closely as they reveal how private platforms can become instruments or obstacles for state agendas. Critically, internal governance failures elsewhere, such as inconsistent regulatory enforcement, opaque oversight, and political incompetence, exacerbate these challenges. In India, for example, inconsistent digital policy and limited enforcement capacity have complicated the ability to protect citizens' data or ensure secure communications, highlighting a global trend where gaps in governance amplify vulnerabilities. The Russian case underscores how centralized control, combined with high-stakes political pressures, can clash with globally distributed technology platforms. In conclusion, the Telegram-Russia conflict is far more than a legal dispute. It is a test of technology, governance, and public resilience. How Russia enforces its restrictions, how Telegram adapts, and how citizens respond will shape the boundaries of digital freedom and state control not only in Russia but around the world. As events unfold, the eyes of governments, tech companies, and users alike will remain fixed on the platform, its founder, and the high-stakes game of digital power being played on a global stage.